up the bread with his hands. He didn't pick up the plate. He picked the bread up off her plate. We looked at him like, what is wrong with you? And then he said, oh, I guess I should have taken the plate, right? I'll bring you some new bread.
Well, I don't know about that. Seriously.
What do you think got affected as a result of that?
Rest of the meal.
His tip.
His tip.
Because that was not 5-star service. Right? You picked the bread up with your hand.
And then he had the nerve to say, I guess I should have picked
I guess I should have picked, that's right. First principle. Someone read that, please. Principle 1.
We want to be the best we can be, reach our potential, serve people better, and glorify God. To do this, we must be intentional and visionary.
Write this down. Write this down. We must be intentional in our daily death. We must be intentional in our daily death. Look at somebody next to you and say, did you die today? Ask someone.
Did you die today?
Did you die today? Did you die today?
Did you die? Did you die?
All last week?
I sure
Did you?
Yes, I
Did you die? Did she get a handout?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Rachel, thank you. Right? So Luke 9:23 and Matthew 16:24, right? Those are a few of the scriptures. Luke 9:23, Matthew 16:24 tells us to die how often?
Daily.
Right? So we've got to be intentional all day long, right? All day, right? So we've got to be intentional in our daily death if we're going to reach people and serve them better. Because it's not just us, we can't be doing it in our own
That's
flesh.
right, you can't. No.
Not if we are representing Christ.
Right.
It's one thing if you are out in the world and you are not a believer. But as believers, everything we do is supposed to be as unto the Lord. Everything. So that's what we've got to die. We have to be intentional.
interacting with each other.
Each other.
Your
Yes.
family,
Yes.
I mean, it's everything.
Absolutely. Everything. So we have to be able to be intentional also in our demonstration of love. Love is an action, right? It's an emotion, but it's also an action. So how we love one another and consistent with what you were talking about last time. So if we go over to the principle 2, someone read that, please.
We must practice what we preach and put thorns in our laurels.
What does that mean? What happens when we're resting on our laurels?
You get caught in self-centered.
Yeah, your past accomplishments,
Okay.
things you already done. Yep. So what does it mean to practice what we preach and put thorns in our laurels?
So you don't sit down on it, you're always looking.
If you
Get better.
if you sit down on thorns, what you think,
Get up.
right? So there are things you've got to do to not be comfortable. Remember earlier it said too many people are comfortable with mediocrity.
Yes.
You know what? I'm good. I don't need to do anything more.
Exactly.
And forgetting about who we're serving. One, it's God. This is all about Him. And so the children and the parents, the service that you're giving, we can't rest on our laurels and say, yeah, we did a great job before. No, there's some child that you never know what's going on, some parent that we need to reach. So, principle 4.
Who are the best people for ministry tasks? And what are the best resources we can afford?
This particular one requires trust in your leadership. It requires you to trust your leadership. Because here's the thing, pastor assigns leadership, okay? Whether we like it or not, doesn't matter, because pastor is very intentional in what he does. He's prayerful, right? And sometimes leadership will say, we're doing this, we're going in this direction, and then you get to church on Sunday and Minister Donna says, we got to do this now. You might, wait a minute, you just told us to do that. It could be that the Lord has given her something else the night before. And there's a reason, because there's going to be a child sitting in that room in one of those classes that something different has to occur. So we have to stay flexible. It's important to be flexible when you're being given directives. Deacon Stephanie and I can tell you, in working with Master Life Ministry, Pastor will come, if there's certain things, the night before he'll switch something or tell you, and you're like, okay, I thought we, oh, all right. And it might require that we're gonna be up half the night to work on something, but you do it. Because you say there's a reason why he shifted. We have to trust in our leadership. And so when leadership is making assignments, we have to be able to trust. Even when we don't think that it's the best, or we say, oh, somebody else could have done that better. There could be a very good reason why leadership, why Minister Donna, Minister or Chris is helping out. We never know. So it requires trust to accomplish the task. Questions? Any questions? So this also requires submission. Think about David and Saul. Even when Saul was trying to kill him, he submitted. Can you submit when somebody doesn't even like you? Right? When someone seems to be mistreating you and you don't understand, can you still submit? Right? When you get all the difficult assignments, why are you always giving me this? Instead of complaining, can we just say, you know what? I'm going to do it as unto the Lord. Okay? Number 6. Someone read that one?
Invest the time and money to teach, train, and retrain people to develop their skills and to implement quality ministry methods.
Yes. And you all are doing that. You all are doing that one. Number 7.
The leader's job is to buy into the concept for quality concern. Cast the vision and never delegate the core value.
Pastor casts the vision. He knows what he wants to see with the children's ministry. He assigns a leader, right? And it's the responsibility of each ministry when he casts the vision to go with it, right? Pastor has a standard of excellence. He wants things done in excellence. And if you look at some of the things that he does, you know, again, may not always understand the method or the process, but he has a standard of excellence. So he wants us to be a 5-star people with that make up a 5-star church. Okay.
He is even an excellence of any flyer. Do you know
Yes.
how many revisions my husband do on a flyer?
Yeah.
Because Pastor goes through every word, him and his team. And if the design is not up, that's not didn't catch my vision. Up.
Yeah.
I mean, redo and redo and redo and redo until he sends it in. Pastor says, okay, that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to just redo it and do it again and just kind of catch on to whatever he has to say. And it takes patience. It takes patience, and you can't get offended.
That's right. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. If he tells you to tear it all down and start all over,
Yeah.
he says tear it all down and start over. That means tear it all down and start over.
Yeah.
You know, because that means you didn't catch whatever he wanted you to build on, and he's wanting us to build on something for the shepherd's house. And remember, he is the visionary, and we're just aligning to his vision. But I've seen revision after revision.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to finish. I don't want to.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
And the hard part with that is not to take offense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
Not
Yes.
to take offense to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not to take personal.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a
It's
challenge.
just what he wants. It's just a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge. No, you do. We have to. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath. Be like, I just did that. This is the 5th time. Okay.
6.
6, 7. That's right. But that's.
And you have,
Yes.
you also, in not taking offense, you have to realize too that when you say, you know, not taking it personal, that it's not about your
you.
ability.
Right.
And it's,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's not that he's casting,
Yeah.
he's not casting doubt